Now, authorities in KwaZulu-Natal have raised concerns over the increase of attacks in taverns and other establishments. On Saturday, a group of gunmen opened fire, killing 6 people outside the tuckshop in Savannah Park near Mariannhill. A 7th person later died in hospital. Community Safety MEC Neliswa Nkonyeni says something needs to be done to address the root cause of this violence. Well, she joins us now. MEC Nkonyeni, good evening to you. Thanks for your time tonight. Firstly, let's kick it off here. Have you been able to...
And good evening to listeners at home and viewers.
Sure. Let's kick it off here. Have you been able to get any more details related to what happened yesterday?
Okay, let me start off by expressing our heartfelt condolences to all bereaved families who lost their loved ones in the area of Savannah Park. And the 3 families also lost their loved ones in the area of Newzroom. Actually, last night we lost about 12 people through these shootings that are happening in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Of course, they are unrelated, according to the information that we have collated from the South African Police Service members. We visited an area called Savannah Park, whereby there were 7 people who were fatally wounded, while some of them were just visiting an outlet which is referred to as Skopolozi tuckshop. We are not sure whether that was a tuckshop or it was a tavern selling liquor products, because the police were, on arrival, the police discovered some contents of liquor in that area, and again they were also selling some food products. So we're not sure whether they are operating as both as a liquor outlet or just a tuck shop. We are still investigating that. Again, the other incident that happened in Newzroom is unrelated to the one that happened in Savannah Park, as I have already indicated that. That one seems to have been a robbery that went wrong. We are told that there were 5 people, 3 ladies and 2 young men who were in a rented room in a house that is owned by somebody in the area. They were just chatting when this armed robber came in and tried to rob them of their cell phones. They managed to overpower him and took the gun that was pointed at them by this criminal. And he ran away. He came back with 2 other suspects, and then he shot all of them dead, 5 of them dead. Yet the other one, it seems as if it's somebody who visited the area with the main purpose of consulting a traditional healer, because some of these criminals would go to traditional healers in order for them to be cleansed, to be cleansed by the traditional healers. While he was still waiting for his turn, then the suspects came after him. Unfortunately, there were other people in that particular tuck shop who became victims. Of course, they were not the target of the perpetrators of that violent crime. So the police are still investigating. There is a team of detectives that has now been established by the provincial commissioner. We are satisfied with the work that is happening on the ground right now. I was even introduced to them earlier on today. We are very hopeful because, fortunately for us, the people of the area are sharing information with the police of what they saw, of who the suspects could be, and that will lead to immediate arrest of the suspects or perpetrators of that violent crime.
Ms. Nkonyeni, All of the incidents that you have raised tonight show the extent to which crime has gotten absolutely out of control, and yet we don't hear much about what the preventative measures that are going to be taken to prevent incidents of this nature from taking place are.
Of course, seemingly there are a number of firearms that are in possession of many people in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Most of the time, when people die, the family members do not go to the police and hand over those firearms. That is what the police have actually raised with me. So we need to do something about that. And then those firearms end up in the hands of the criminals. They use them to rob people. They use them to murder people out there. But of course, there are other people who are selling guns, these firearms, in their establishments. So police are also following up on that. We're doing a lot to ensure that we curb these violent crimes that are happening in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. You'll recall that in July, we even convened a crime summit. Right now, the South African Police Service, working with other structures like your CPS and other structures, including the Department of Community Safety and Housing, are now in a process of implementing the resolutions that were actually adopted in that crime summit that was held earlier on.
The other thing that is beginning to emerge is a pattern which shows how vulnerable places like taverns, and in this instance even a tuckshop where people gather, how those areas are becoming more and more soft targets for criminals.
Yes, as I have already indicated, the police are in a process working together with KZN Liquor Board. They have started now to implement the resolutions that were adopted in the conference, in our crime prevention summit that was held in June. One of those resolutions was that the police, working together with the liquor board, should visit these tavern outlets, these liquor outlets, in order to ensure that those who are operating them are actually licensed operators. So even yesterday and on Saturday, when these incidents happened, the police have been visiting, have been operating in that area in particular in order to ensure that the taverns that are operational in that area are licensed outlets.
All right. Let's leave it there for tonight. Community Safety MEC Neliswa Nkonyeni, and talking there about some of the solutions, interventions that they could be looking at in terms of preventing at least the huge scale attacks that we've been seeing across different parts of the country in recent weeks.